Hey guys, I know it's been a few months. I said I was going to start a YouTube channel. Been slacking a little bit. My bad. I'm a little busy with school and work and stuff, so I really enjoyed my Christmas break, by the way. So, did a lot of stuff. But anyways, so my sister had asked me what I thought happiness was. What is happiness to me? And at the time, I didn't really have an answer for her. You know, and the best thing I could do was, well, why are you asking me? What makes you happy should be the question. You shouldn't ever ask anybody else what happiness is. Let's just get that straight right now, because what makes me happy and what makes you happy are going to be completely different things. So, but with some thought into this, I think I came up with some type of answer. So, you take happiness. So, the first thing you need to do is figure out what happiness is not. So, happiness is not pain, it's not suffering. That's pretty much the basis. It's not pain and suffering. It's not enduring any hardships, which we all endure at some point in time in our life. So with that said, now you have to look at what suffering is not. So suffering is not feeling happy, for one, happiness. It's not happiness. It's not feeling joyful. It's not feeling blissfulness. It's not feeling in awe of our reality that we are so graciously allowed to perceive. You know, it could be a lot of other things, you know, just fill in the blanks. So, with that said, a good way to attain happiness is to be content with what you have. Because if you're always looking for happiness in the next materialistic thing, if you're always looking for happiness in the next relationship, the next car, you know, oh, if I get this really good job, things will be better, I'll be happy. That's not true. You would be fooling yourself to think those things. When it comes down to it, it's about being content. It's about being content with what you have. It's about being content with who you are as a person, as an individual, because we are all individuals. Once you start realizing this, you start feeling a certain amount of happiness. But it doesn't end there, you know, because you may be content with everything you have, but you may be dwelling on things that you shouldn't be dwelling on, like past events. These past events can just grind and grind and grind at your mind. I've been there. I've thought about a lot of things I've done in the past. And yeah, you know, I regretted them at the time. But now I look back on them and I realize that those were lessons that I had to endure. And now that I've moved on beyond those lessons, I'm learning new lessons. And, you know, I say this because I put my life to the ground. So I understand. I understand what it is to be at the utmost bottom of life. And to be able to build everything back up. And once you start building everything back up, you'll realize I'll bring a whole nother level to your mentality. So the best advice I could give you is to never dwell on the past. And the next best advice I can give you is to never dwell too much on the future. And these both directly correlate with each other. Because if you're dwelling too much on future events that haven't happened yet, it could tear you down mentally on mental levels that you can't even comprehend. And that goes the same with the past. If you keep dwelling on the past, it's the past, dude. It's done. Leave it there. It's over. There's nothing you can do to go back and change it, so why even stress it? It happened. It is what it is. Same with not the same with the future. Not the same with the future. The future hasn't happened yet. And if you're worrying about the future, it's just not a good way to go. And the future hasn't happened yet. It hasn't unraveled. It hasn't played its play yet. Now, with that said, should bring you to a level of living in the present. And even living in the present, it's all perceived within thousandths of a second in the past. So everything we have perceived has already happened. So even if something had happened in the present that might upset you in any way, it's done, it's over. It's already in the past. Move on. Why are you stressing about it? It's over. There's nothing you can do to change it. And I know reality can be quite overwhelming sometimes in that aspect. But it's the truth. And it's all we have for the truth is the reality that we can see within front of us right now. People have a hard time living in the now. Once you can find this equal balance within your life, you're moving in the right direction. Because you're not living too much in the past, not living too much in the future. Now, see, we all must live in the past because we must learn from our past mistakes. And we must all look into the future to try to predict what is going to happen then. But it's only a prediction. It's not set in stone yet. So all we have left is, what do we do now? Now. What we do now will portray all outcomes that are to come. I think I'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. If you guys have any comments, just leave them below. Any questions, just let me know. Hit the subscribe button. Hopefully I'll be back sooner than later. But for now, you guys have a wonderful night, day, whatever time it is. You guys learn to enjoy life for what it is. That's all we can do. It's just another day in paradise. See ya.